I think you may understand. Yes, there's no space there.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Thank you all for coming. We're sorry that we're starting a little bit later than we had intended to, but it's really because of the number of people that are here. We thank you all for coming. And also it's because we had this difficulty of how to organize it, because there's actually two things that we want to talk about today. As you know from the messages that went out, we were originally planning to have two separate media conferences. The first was to be by Bersih, and the second was to be by the former chair of Bersih, Maria Chin Abdullah. But really it's difficult to separate it in a room of this size, and therefore we've decided, mainly for your convenience, to do it together. My name is Rama. I'm Rama Ramanathan. Sorry, is that loud enough? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I thought I already had a very loud voice. So what we're going to do is this. My name is Rama Ramanathan. I'm a member of the steering committee of Bersih, and I'll be chairing this session. We're going to begin with a statement. I believe you have copies of the statement already. That will be read by the deputy chair of Bersih. Cheryl will read that. And after that, I will have Maria read her statement. And then we will have Marina will say a few words. And then we will open it to the floor for questions. We're actually hoping to have another person join us this morning. We hope that she'll be able to make it here in time, in which case you'll hear from her as well. All right, so over to you, Cheryl.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming. We have distributed both the English and BM statements, but I will be reading the BM one. Okay. What would the media prefer? English or BM? BM. Okay. Okay, kenyataan media 6 Mac 2018, peletakan jawatan Maria Chin Abdullah sebagai pengurusi Bersih 2.0 dan fokus Bersih 2.0 untuk PRU14. Pada tarikh 4 Mac 2018, Maria Chin Abdullah memberitahu kami mengenai peletakan jawatan beliau sebagai pengerusi. Selepas perbincangan, jawatan kuasa pemandu menerima peletakan jawatan beliau dan hari terakhir beliau di pejabat adalah semalam, 5 Mac 2018. tempoh yang singkat antara permintaan beliau untuk meletak jawatan dan hari terakhirnya di pejabat adalah disebabkan keinginannya untuk mengumumkan pada minggu ini tentang pencalonannya sebagai ahli parlimen dalam pilihan raya ke-14. Bersih 2.0 berterima kasih kepada Maria atas sumbangan dalam perjuangan menuntut pilihan raya yang bersih dan adil selama 10 tahun dan kepimpinannya sejak 2013. Walaupun gangguan, ugutan kepada beliau dan keluarganya serta penahanan beliau dalam Akta Sosma pada tahun 2015, Maria tetap kekal membawa agenda untuk reformasi institusi. Kami dengan ini mengharapkan yang terbaik untuk Maria dalam perjalanan beliau di bidang politik dan kami bangga apabila menyatakan bahawa beliau akan memberi tekanan melalui legislatif dan perubahan polisi, reformasi ke atas sistem pilihan raya dan juga demokrasi yang matang. Kami berharap semua calon dan parti akan memberikan komitmen yang sepatutnya. Bersih 2.0 adalah gerakan bukan partisan yang berfokus kepada reformasi serta pilihan raya dan membawa nilai demokratik. Bersih akan terus beroperasi seperti sebelumnya diketuai oleh jawatan kuasa pemandu. Gerak kerja Maria sebelum ini akan diambil alih oleh saya, Timbalan Pengurusi Bersih 2.0 Syarul Aman Muhammad Syahari, dan kami mengambil peluang ini untuk memperkukuhkan fokus kami dalam pilihan raya yang akan datang. Yang pertama, pengamalan sistem pilihan raya yang bersih dan adil. Yang kedua, padang perlawanan yang rata dan adil untuk semua calon dan semua parti politik. Yang ketiga, memantau ketimpangan pilihan raya dan manipulasi. Yang keempat, liputan media yang adil kepada semua parti. Yang kelima, melindungi hak untuk mengundi. Dan yang keenam, memastikan accountability SPR. Kami kesal kerana belum menerima apa-apa respon daripada SPR berkaitan pemantauan pilihan raya antarabangsa yang bebas, persepadanan semula yang tidak adil, membersihkan pengundian dan memansuhkan undian pos. Walaupun setelah berkali-kali panggilan informasi dibuat ke atas SPR, pihak SPR tetap tidak mengendahkan Bersih 2.0 dan terus-menerus memandang enteng integrasi proses pilihan raya. Kami telah berulang kali memprotes cara SPR menggunakan strategi kotor dalam proses pengundian, gerrymandering dan pembahagian tidak sekata yang memastikan siapa yang akan memenangi setiap kursi. Walau bagaimanapun, analisis kami menunjukkan peratusan keluar mengundi akan mengalahkan penipuan SPR. Walaupun Maria mengundurkan diri, tiada perubahan dalam Bersih 2.0. Bersih 2.0 akan terus memenangi perjuangan menuntut pilihan raya yang adil dan bersih dalam memfokus kepada PRU14, terutama berkenaan kempen Satukan Tenaga Kalahkan Penipuan yang mempromosikan reformasi institusi, kepentingan turun mengundi dan inisiatif pemantau. Rakyat boleh dan masyarakat boleh pergi kepada pemantau.org untuk makluman lanjut, dan kita mengajak seluruh rakyat untuk menjadi pilihan raya yang bebas dan melaporkan penipuan dan kesalahan dalam pilihan raya di kawasan masing-masing. Sekian.
Cheryl. I just want to ask a question I didn't ask earlier. Is there a need also, do you think, for Cheryl to read the statement in English? Should anybody like that? If not, we'll just proceed as planned. So, Maria, over to you.
Thank you. And thank you very much. I didn't expect so many of you all here. Thank you very much to the CSOs, civil society organizations who turn out, individuals, friends, and the media, of course, local and also international. I will just read the statement that I have. After much consideration and consultation with key stakeholders, I've decided to resign as the chair of BERSE 2.0 and to offer myself as an independent candidate to Pakatan Harapan to enter into the coming GE14. And what does that mean? It means that I will not be joining any political party, but I am willing to contest under a Pakatan Harapan logo. I will also strive to strengthen the democratic reform agenda, the heartbeat of CSO's work, and collaborate with PH to propose and secure key reforms in the highest decision-making bodies. And I will also not trick-corner any PH party members. And why now? Why now? For this General Election 14, it presents an opportunity to actually reclaim our nation and advance our demands for justice, freedom, equality, participation, and democracy. For without them, we will be immobilized as a nation. Our nation's leaders and existing institutions have practically ignored and sidelined us. When we campaigned for reforms in elections, when we sought for the abolishment of draconian laws, when we try to re-establish justice in the judiciary and call for gender equality and end the culture of fear, and when we call for an end to income disparities, all these have been ignored and sidelined. We are frustrated. We are frustrated when perpetrators get away with impunity. And we must not fear change. We must work together to find solutions to overcome the fear for change. As citizens and through BERSE 2, we have actually climbed mountains. And BERSE 2 is now the largest democracy movement in Malaysia. We have reset the narrative for electoral reform. We have asked for an alternative electoral system that is more representative. We have broken the myth of not possible to have peaceful assemblies. Now peaceful assembly is considered as normal. And we broke many myths on race and disunity. And we reclaim the right to dissent, association, and assembly. This is the work of every one of you, Malaysians. And we have set the normative for democracy, for greater heights, and we have all been instrumental in shaping Malaysia's direction. And we have just two examples. One is through our persistence, through our rallies, through our advocacy work, we have seen the formation of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Electoral Reform. For the present delineation, we have been able to stall, we meaning BERSE. Now I have to get used to that, right? We have actually stalled the redelineation for 4 years. 4 years, because it's supposed to have been done in 2014. Now it's on completion in 2018. Through legal advocacy, through mobilizing, through public awareness, we have actually done all that together. So we should be able to move on to different platforms, different spaces. And this is the change that we want to bring to this nation. My entry into the political arena is a continuation of that change. It is using different space to advance democracy. The business as usual, which thrives on authoritarianism, corruption, impunity, repression, poverty, must be transformed. People's participation and empowerment will effect change as we see in our involvement through Bersih 2.0. We want to reconstruct new politics. Given my history and activism with CSO, which represent a significant part of a new awakening in Malaysia society, it is important that my offer to be a candidate under the PH banner has to be independent, so as to construct what we call a new politics. The new politics that my team and I will bring forth will focus on a few issues: electoral reform, development justice, gender equality, institutional reform, environmental justice that actually encompasses from local to global concerns, all being the core aims of CSO's movement. Through the strategic alliances that I hope to build, we can showcase the implementation of these principles that we hold very dear: fair treatment and participatory democracy, with meaningful involvement of all people, regardless of race, color, national origin, or income. Inclusion of youth, marginalized and the underrepresented to reclaim their spaces of expression, assembly, and political participation in an effective and active manner. And these have to be articulated. They need to stake a say in what, how, where, and for whom our country's resources are being used for, are being expended, be it at the local council level, state or national government. I hope to initiate practical implementation of fundamental principles so that we understand and we work together to build a democracy that we want. The systematic and strategic alliances between CSO, like Bersih, with pro-democracy political parties and elected representatives are essential to forge, to bring a transformative change. This is the way we define transformative change, different from TN50. This strategic alliance also recognizes and respects the nuances, the independence of the CSO, and we are definitely open to criticism if we step out of line. Finally, to all Malaysians, Bersih, volunteers, steering committee members, CSO, friends, relatives, and the hundreds of thousands of supporters, a warm and humble thank you from me, from my family, for your confidence and belief in me. A new journey may have begun for me, but together, we can make our dreams come true. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maria. We also have, who has joined us at the table, we have Dr. Ambika Srinivasan, who is no stranger to you all. Thank you for being here this morning. I'm just going to continue with what I said we would do, and I'd now like to invite Marina to say a few words.
Good morning, Assalamualaikum. Thank you for this incredible turnout to support Maria today. I'm speaking as a friend and supporter of Maria. I'm not part of Bersih, nor of any political party. I'm just here as a friend, a supporter, a woman, and a citizen who would like to really see clean and fair elections this year. I've known Maria not too long, but long enough. Certainly have worked with her on a number of different events and activities, the last one being the Wanita Bantah Politik Toxic. And so I've had a very close-up view of her leadership and her personality, and most of all her commitment and dedication to whatever cause that she decides on. And in this particular case, for clean and fair elections, for clean politics, for really just a better overall approach to the way we conduct politics in this country, and to uphold the very many values that we hold dear in this country. I really think it's wonderful that she's doing this. I think it's quite incredible to have the energy and the dedication to do it. But I think it's great. I think particularly more people without long track record in party politics should step up, particularly women, to make a difference. I think the real advantage that Maria has is that she's got so much experience in organizing, so much experience dealing with grassroots women and all sorts of grassroots people, and that she's really not involved in the type of politicking that we see in so many political parties. So I think it's really very fresh and new to have her enter the political field, and I really hope that everyone receives her with open arms, because they really should, and so that we are really finally making inroads into a new type of politics in this country, because we really cannot carry on the way we have all this time. So I really would like to wish Maria all the best in this new journey. I think she's very courageous, but I will be there to help and support in every way I can. Licking stamps, whatever. Nothing is too small to do when you believe in something, I think. So, well done, Maria, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Marina. I'm sure everyone is looking forward to seeing photos of you licking stamps. And now, over to you, Dato' Abigail.
Thank you very much. Terima kasih, saudara-saudari. Ladies and gentlemen, as long as I have known Maria, she has worked to serve the rakyat. In this new role, she will continue to do that, exactly that, what MPs are supposed to do, which is to serve the rakyat. The platform is different. It is a new strategy. We think it is worthwhile taking the fight for free and fair elections, as well as human rights, straight into Parliament. And that is the strategy that we had in mind. Maria has explained what it is she plans to do, and I hope that those who perhaps at first blush were a little surprised, or perhaps didn't think it was a good idea, once they hear this rationale and Maria's rationale, I hope you will give her your full support. Maria will continue to take these battles to Parliament, and she'll continue articulating the views on behalf of all of those who have been pushing for reform and basically for a better Malaysia. We know, and I'm very confident, that Maria will do it honestly, without fear or favor, and with the courage that she has shown in her work as an activist. She has proven how far she's prepared to go to fight for a cause. She will not be a pushover. She will speak her mind. There is no doubt in my mind about that. There will be brickbats, as I say, it's a new strategy, but it is time for us to think out of the box, to do something different, to do the best we can, actually, to push our agenda for reform. Now, I want to thank Maria, actually, for what she's doing, because it takes a lot of courage to take on this challenge. And I think it's, at the end of the day, it is absolutely her right to run for elections as a candidate in the next general elections. But it is not an easy thing to do. And for that, I think you have my admiration, Maria, because my admiration for what you're giving up and for what you're taking on. And for that, I would say bravo, Maria, for what you're doing. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you very much, Amiga. Now, we will take a few minutes for questions. There are going to be, there's basically two groups here this morning. We have in front here, there are two groups, and sometimes it's very difficult to separate the two. For example, when Maria was speaking, I was thinking, you could take Maria out of Berse, but you cannot take Berse out of Maria. And when I hear Ambiga speaking, I think the same thing. Gosh, it's like you just can't take Berse out of the people who have bought into the reform agenda of Berse. So what we're going to do is this. I'm going to throw it open for questions. And if you have questions that relate to Berse and the way forward, and any questions concerning Berse, they will be answered by Cheryl and myself, or I will point it to others to answer. And questions could, because I have to keep remembering now, Maria is the former chair of Berse. So questions on Berse will no longer be answered by her. And questions concerning Maria's candidacy, of course, I will leave it to Maria to answer. The floor is open for questions. We'll take them one at a time. Thank you.
Maria, why have you decided to make a switch from activism in Berse to a partisan banner as Pakatan HARAPAN,
Well, as I've said just now in my statement, I feel that there's no right time. GE14, given that it's an accumulation of the work that we have done, and also the observation that I have of the political situation, which is not good, I just want to jump in and say that, let me take this agenda to the parliament and see what I can do in this new approach. So, Pakatan HARAPAN, well, you can't be asking me to join Barisan Nasional, because they are the violators, to be honest. There are other parties, of course, but I think that, Pakatan HARAPAN, looking at their manifesto, I do agree with their manifesto. So that would be the platform that I will use.
Why an independent ticket and not under a Pakatan HARAPAN party, PKR, DAP, for example?
Yeah, it has to be independent, because if I'm carrying a reform agenda, I have to stay focused, and I think I would like to do that. Yeah.
But Maria, how different is it? What is the difference between joining a party and contesting under that ticket, contesting under the party that you join, and joining as an independent candidate but also contesting under a flag anyway? If you're concerned about independence, then wouldn't it be the same?
The independence is not so much in terms of the logo itself, but the independence is actually keeping on to my agenda, which is the reform agenda. I think that matters most to me. And I should be able to also have the space that to also put up my own positions if there are certain controversial issues. Yeah, and I think that being in the parliament is going to be a very tough fight. Yeah, and not just within the party that you have to deal with, but you are actually dealing with Barisan Nasional and so forth. So I feel that, having a platform as an independent will keep me focused, and I will not be alone doing this. I will have a team who will be helping me to focus my agenda, and I hope that the CSO will pull me back if I do step out of line. And also, just one more point, I really do not want to get too much involved in the party politics. Yeah. So as an independent, I hope that I don't have to do that, and just stay focused on the agenda.
Maria, a particular party that you are interested in contesting?
At the moment, not really, because there are no seats offered yet. They are still negotiating for it, so I will leave it. For today, it is actually to announce my resignation and also that I'm offering myself as a candidate.
What has the Pakatan Harapan Secretariat responded to your intentions to contest as an independent and not under the party logo or party banner?
If I read the media correctly, I think that they are open to it. So, and I understand that they will have to take time to sort out the seats and where am I contesting. So give them some time.
So Maria, just to clarify, does this mean that if you win, if you become an MP, you will not join a party, you will maintain as an independent, correct?
Yes.
How closely will you be working with Bersih? Because you have resigned, but you're saying you want to bring the civil society agenda to Parliament. So how closely will you be maintaining ties with Bersih and bringing that agenda forward?
Well, I hope I will have some ties. As to getting involved in their decision making, they are definitely independent and on their own. But this is not just about Bersih's agenda. Yeah, it's not just about electoral reform. I too have my own agenda, which is gender equality, and also about income disparities. So I will be bringing a much more wider reform agenda to the Parliament. So I hope to also work with other NGOs who is also fighting on the same agenda as me.
Maria, some may not agree with you contest under PH manner, and they hope you can contest as a true independent. So what's your comment?
Independent.
Maybe you can use your own logo or instead of Pakatan Harapan logo.
Well, I don't want a three-corner fight. Yeah. Definitely, I'm not going to go into a seat where Pakatan Harapan is also putting a candidate. So it's already, we are going to face GE14 with 3 corners. I will not add on. Because at the end of the day, what is my purpose? My sole purpose is actually to get my agenda there. So the sole purpose is, I hope I can get a seat and win it and get my agenda. So I will not 3-corner Pakatan Harapan, nor any other parties if possible. So definitely independent and under the PH logo.
Have you decided on a seat?
No.
So the seat will let Pakatan Harapan decide.
So regarding the statement you made before, you said that Bersih is neutral, but right now you're standing out for election under Pakatan Harapan. So what is the reason you're standing out for election under Pakatan Harapan? Since you say that Bersih is neutral.
Bersih is never neutral because we have taken sides against any violators of democracy. So, and I have resigned, so I'm no longer Bersih. So that has to be very clear. And 2 is that, I believe that the leadership in Bersih go with it.
Maria, what do you think it means? You have people like Wan Saiful Wanjan joining the opposition. Now we're seeing intellectual civil society people coming forward to join Pakatan. What do you think this says about the current political landscape in Malaysia? Why are you feeling it's the time?
Well, it's also about time that we bring quality debates, yeah? Because what we want is good policies and good laws. to be tabled not just at the parliament level, yeah, at the state level, and we should be moving towards a much more inclusive, well-debated parliament sessions. And I feel that, you know, with one Saiful there, myself there, and don't forget that within Pakatan Harapan there are MPs who have the content, and we can work together. So it will actually bring a new sense of discussion to the parliament. If we actually try our best to work together to actually change the narrative that is in parliament, not shouting at each other, because that doesn't mean there's a debate. But I think that, you know, there are so many laws that have just been rushed through without much of a debate, and we need to actually step in and try to see what we can do to prevent that.
Bouncing off that, you know, once Saiful is joining politics, you are joining politics, is that a sign I mean, the public might see that as, you know, is civil society actually effective in bringing about change? You have to, you know, resort to politics. So what is your response to that?
It's only two of us. Only two of us. I mean, I think that is a good idea for us to join politics to at least change the narrative within the parliament. And two of us plus the Pakatan Harapan MPs, perhaps we may make some change there. And as we have expressed, this is another space. Don't forget that we still have the civil society. They will continue, inclusive, I hope, of street protests, of submitting memorandums, of raising their voices if they do not agree. That has to still go on. So inside and outside, we have to actually push the reform agenda so that we, at the end of the day, move towards a system that we have changed. Because it's not just about removing leaders. We need to look at the system, because our system has not been working for us. So how do we actually change it? We can try these strategies, and entering into parliament is just one of the strategies.
If I could ask Berse, you might have already seen some response online. How are you going to work to respond to the perception that Berse is now might seem partisan, or that it's playing into the narrative that Berse was always wanted toward the opposition, because this is something you are contending with right now?
I'll answer this question. We have always been like what Maria said, not neutral but pro reform. So we have always been willing to work with anyone, with any individuals, party, civil society that is pro-reform.